This is a Bigjigs wooden railway CN train model. The Canadian National Railway Company, reporting mark CN, is a Canadian Class I freight railway headquartered in Montreal, Quebec, which serves Canada and the Midwestern and Southern United States. CN is Canada's largest railway, in terms of both revenue and the physical size of its rail network, spanning Canada from the Atlantic coast in Nova Scotia to the Pacific coast in British Columbia across approximately 20,400 route miles, 32,831 kilometers of track. In the late 20th century, CN gained extensive capacity in the United States by taking over such railroads as the Illinois Central. CN is a public company with 24,000 employees, and as of July 2019 it has a market cap of approximately 90 billion Canadian dollars. CN was government-owned, having been a Canadian Crown corporation from its founding in 1919 until being privatized in 1995. As of 2019, Bill Gates is the largest single shareholder of CN stock, owning a 10.04% interest through Cascade Investment and his own Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. From 1919 to 1960, the railway was referred to as Canadian National Railways, CNR. The Canadian National Railways, CNR, was incorporated on June 6, 1919, comprising several railways that had become bankrupt and fallen into Government of Canada hands, along with some railways already owned by the government. Primarily a freight railway, CN also operated passenger services until 1978. When they were assumed by Via Rail. The only passenger services run by CN after 1978 were several mixed trains, freight and passenger, in Newfoundland, and several commuter trains both on CN's electrified routes and towards the South Shore in the Montreal area. The latter lasted without any public subsidy until 1986. The Newfoundland mixed trains lasted until 1988, while the Montreal commuter trains are now operated by Montreal's EXO. On November 17, 1995, the Government of Canada privatized CN. Over the next decade, the company expanded significantly into the United States, purchasing Illinois Central Railroad and Wisconsin Central Transportation, among others. CNR's first foray into diesel motive power was with self-propelled railcars. In November 1925, railcar No. 15820 completed a 72-hour journey from Montreal to Vancouver with the 185 horsepower, 138 kilowatts, diesel engine in nearly continuous operation for the entire 4,726 kilometers, 2,937 miles, trip. Railcars were used on marginal economic routes instead of the more expensive to operate steam locomotives used for busier routes. In 1929, the CNR made its first experiment with mainline diesel-electric locomotives, acquiring two 1,330 horsepower, 990 kilowatts, engines from Westinghouse, numbered 9000 and 9001. It was the first North American railway to use diesels in mainline service. These early units proved the feasibility of the diesel concept, but were not always reliable. No. 9000 served until 1939 and No. 9001 until 1947. The difficulties of the Great Depression precluded much further progress towards diesel locomotives. The CNR began its conversion to diesel locomotives after World War II and had fully dieselized by 1960. Most of the CNR's first-generation diesel locomotives were made by General Motors Diesel, GMD, and Montreal Locomotive Works. For its narrow-gauge lines in Newfoundland, CN acquired from GMD the 900 series, models NF110, road numbers 900 to 908, and NF210, road numbers 909 to 946. For use on the branch lines, CN purchased the EMD G8, road numbers 800 to 805. For passenger service, the CNR acquired GMD FP9 diesels, as well as CLC CPA 16-5, Alco MLW FPA2 and FPA4 diesels. These locomotives made up most of the CNR's passenger fleet, although CN also owned some 60 rail liners, Bud Rail diesel cars, Some dual-purpose diesel freight locomotives equipped with passenger train apparatus, such as steam generators, as well as the locomotives for the turbo train sets. VIA acquired most of CN's passenger fleet when it took over CN passenger service in 1978. The CN fleet as of 2007 consists of 1,548 locomotives, most of which are products of either General Motors Electromotive Division or General Electric/GE Transportation Systems. Some locomotives more than 30 years old remain in service. Much of the current roster is made up of EMD SD70IN, EMD SD75I locomotives, and GEC 44-9W locomotives. Recently acquired are the new EMD SD70M2 and GEES 44DC. Since 2015, the GEES 44AC and GEET 44AC are the latest units. Beginning in the early summer months of 2010, CN purchased a small order of GEC 48s and GEC 40-8Ws from Union Pacific and BNSF Railway, respectively. The intent was to use them as a cheaper power alternative. CN currently have 65 GEES 44ACs on its roster, and all 65 were ordered and delivered from December 2012 to December 2013. They are CN's first AC-powered locomotives. In 2015, CN started ordering more GE units, the ET44AC. Hoppers in Sainte Foy, Quebec City, April 2012. On November 17, 2020, CN revealed 5 heritage units to mark the 25th anniversary of becoming a publicly traded company. They had originally been spotted a month earlier, but were not yet formally announced by the company. The locomotives were repainted into various schemes of railroads CN had previously acquired, and included 4 GEET 44ACs painted in IC, EJAND-E, WC, and BC rail paint, and an EMD SD70M2 painted in GTW paint. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe our channel.